Wildings, welcome back to the Wilding Astro Tarot YouTube channel. My name is Jade Wilding and it's a pleasure to have you here on my channel for today's pick a card general tarot reading. Today we're asking for messages about your person's current intentions towards you. So whoever's coming to mind as you're seeing this video, that's who we're going to be asking about today. I'll explain the reading in a little more detail in a minute, including what you can expect from today's reading and how to get the most out of it. But for now, we're just gonna sit together and enjoy the vibes of us opening our ritual space together, which is something beautiful that I love to include you guys in, so you can kind of like get in the vibe, be ready to receive your reading today, and yeah, essentially just dial in. I wanted to let you know, while I've got you here, that I'm hoping to go live on TikTok again soon, maybe one night this week. So if you want to catch me in person, keep an eye out for that. It's something that I tend to lean more towards when I'm in the peak of my cycle, and something that I tend not to do while I'm not. So kind of there's a little window every month where I usually try and find some space to go on, but yeah, that's around now. To be honest, I'm a little bit past it, but yeah, we'll see if I can kind of keep the momentum going and do that for you guys, because I'd love to see you again. If you're not already following me on TikTok, the link to my profile's in the description box below, or you can search Wilding Tarot and Wilding Astro separately on the app. I do have two TikTok accounts for Tarot and Astro, mostly just to make things easier on the algorithm, but yeah, I'd love to see you on those pages. So yeah, let's connect, hopefully in person. But for now, it looks like we're just about finished setting up our ritual space, so that will have to be all. But yeah, let's get into today's video. Okay guys, for our video today, we're going to ask the tarot for messages regarding what you need to know about your person and their current intentions towards you. So this reading will have three parts. We'll start off with getting the basic themes of kind of maybe what your person's thinking, either a little bit more consciously, or just things that are kind of coming up for them right now using our astrology deck. Then we'll get more detailed messages about what's going on for them more spiritually, potentially even higher perspectives of their current situation or struggles or whatever it may be, using our tarot deck. Finally, we'll use our oracles to find out if there's anything important you need to know or be prepared for, or anything that you should expect moving forward. If at any point the message is starting to resonate, I would love if you can hit the like button and leave me a comment if you have the capacity to do so. I'd love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed your reading today and you'd like to stick around for more intuitive tarot readings like this, we'll use my background in education, psychology, sexology, yoga, and mindfulness to read deeply into the tarot, then I would love if you could subscribe. This tarot reading today is sponsored by my online tarot course, Unlocking the Wisdom of the Tarot, which launches at the end of this year. If today's video inspires you to learn more about the tarot, there's so much wisdom in the tarot. It's like really this spiritual book. I would love to lead you through that. And if you would like to commit now, you can sign up to my course early and enjoy an early bird discount of 50%. This discount expires very, very soon though. I think it expires in 3 weeks. It expires right at the end of September. I'll still be doing a pre-sale discount. It'll just be significantly less of a discount after September. So yeah, if you want the best price that the course is ever going to be, now is the time to sign up. This is all going towards supporting me while I finish the course. Obviously the course is all scripted out. However, I am doing my own animations and like videos and like captioning everything all in my own time. So yeah, to be able to deliver that to you guys, I do have to do less readings. So I've cut down the amount of readings I can do in a week significantly to make sure that I have time to like put together this course for you. So just know that all pre-sales are directly going towards supporting me and finishing it off for you guys, so that I can keep feeding myself and having a roof over my head. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say. If you want to know more about the course, I'll link the official announcement video below, but if you make it to the end of your reading, I'll also insert a clip there for more info. I will do like an updated video potentially when this initial pre-sale ends. I'll do like another video for the next pre-sale period and then the launch date, so stay tuned. But yeah, all the basics are in this first one anyway. But yeah, with all of those basics out of the way, I think we might get into my tips for how to get the most out of your reading today. Okay, so to get the most out of your reading today, you're going to choose either pile 1, 2, or 3, then use the timestamps below to head to your reading. If you're drawn to more than one pile, your reading might be a mix of readings, so just start with the pile you're most drawn to and you're welcome to come back and select another after. If you're feeling like there's still more for you, if you're not immediately drawn to any pile, I'll leave a little freeze frame of the piles in a minute, so you can pause the video, close your eyes, take some deep breaths, and open them up again and see if your eyes are drawn to any of the piles. But if you're still not called to a pile, this video might not have a reading for you today, which is fine. I do try and read very deeply and try not to make it too general, so that means sometimes you will not get a reading from me for a week, but I hope I make up for it for reading more deeply rather than more generally. So yeah, you can always come back again. I will do another video like this, so you can always try again another time. So that would be why it's important to subscribe, because yeah, then you'll be updated and you'll be able to get deeper readings when you need it, based on if you're feeling drawn to one of the piles specifically. Okay, so we've gone over all of that. What else did I need to tell you? So today's reading will be general. I will be offering multiple interpretations if I feel more than one dominant energy coming through, but because it is general, you will need to use your own intuition and discernment here and there to know what's for you, what's not for you, or how your situation might be slightly different from the collective. Keep in mind, like, I do try and read very deeply for you. If I go off on a tangent, it's because I've felt someone's energy and there's important messages for them. Just know through your own connection to your own body, to your own heart, to your own spirit, like if you're supposed to go down that rabbit hole as well or not. So yeah, you're gonna have to take what resonates, leave what doesn't. What else? If at any point you start to feel called to get a more specific private reading where I can read specifically to your energy, then I will leave the links to book one of those readings with me below. I offer 3 kinds of readings, just so you know. The first is a single question tarot reading where I clarify something that might be on your mind or that might come up during this reading. For this reading type, all you need to do is head to the link, make the $50 payment, leave your question and email attached as a note. And this is definitely the most fast and basic kind of reading I offer. It's tarot only. So you can expect a response fairly quickly in your email to your question. The next 2 readings I offer are both much more detailed, and they're currently 50% off to celebrate the pre-sale of my online tarot course, which is also 50% off. They are a combined astro tarot reading, which has a astrology part and a tarot part. And for this reading, what you need to do is you need to go to the link, fill out a request form, and this request form allows you to build basically any kind of reading you want from the ground up. It's like fully customizable using this form. So yeah, you can have whatever you want in it, whatever you want to focus on. And from there, once I receive your request, we arrange a reading and an invoice over email from there. And then finally, the last kind of reading I offer is an astrology only reading. So these are also very detailed. It comes with a written astrology reading, and I also include a interpretation video just to kind of give you the highlights of what's most important for you to focus on, because I do include a lot of notes. For this kind of reading, it's also a build your own reading request form, and it's also arranged over email from there. So yeah, it's a very similar process. The form's like a little bit long, but it's just so that you get the best reading for you, and that it's specific for what you would like. And the more intentional you are in your reading request form, the more clear you are of like what I need, then usually the more directed your reading is to whatever it is that you're looking for. When your energy is general though, I go general. So yeah, if you just want a general reading, that's cool too. Now, all of the instructions, disclaimers, and plugs are out of the way, I think. So it's time to choose a pile, either pile 1, 2, or 3, and wherever you end up, I'll see you there in a moment. Okay, hey there, pile 1. Welcome to your reading for your person's intentions towards you. So if you chose this beautiful blue iolite crystal, then this reading is probably for you. But yeah, just bringing along your own intuition, discernment to know what's for you, what's not for you, where you're supposed to go down a rabbit hole with me, and where you're supposed to, kind of not leave the reading, but just like let part of the reading go because you know that it's for other souls. But we're getting the energies of your person right now. Can we have the energies of pile 1's person, please? What are they thinking? What are they going through? Can we have some general energies for pile 1's person, please? What else can you tell me? Thank you. Guys, you've been drawn to this reading because Spirit wants you to know that your person has realized they've messed up. Like, they have messed up so big time, and they're kind of experiencing the karma of their own actions right now with the South Node energy. I would say they're being like smacked in the face with all of the ways that they messed up with you, and they're beginning to see the higher perspective or higher truth of what really went on with you guys, how they were maybe either not communicating, not thinking about the connection the way that they should have been thinking about the connection, and how they potentially, at least in their eyes, feel like they let their destiny fall away or slip away. Sagittarius is very much about seeing higher truths and not taking things for face value necessarily, and being able to feel out something bigger to do with a situation. And what's interesting about the 11th house is it's a big house of like hopes and dreams and like wish fulfillment. So I'd say this person is realizing now that maybe they shouldn't have let you go, or they shouldn't have let you let them go, because you were really like a dream come true, and like you really felt like what was meant for them with this destiny card coming out. And I don't think they saw that initially, but they're seeing it now. So I think they're also hoping for a rebirth in this connection. Scorpio 8th house energy is associated with the death card in the tarot, and that's all about death, rebirth, like kind of the life after death. And they're hoping that even though this connection had to close, probably because of their issues more so than anything else. They're hoping that is still a kind of fruitful soil for something else to bloom between the two of you. That essentially you haven't closed the door on them forever, because they want like a restart, a rebirth, which is heavy, like death card energy. If this person didn't communicate with you, if this person let them go, or anything like that, that's really what they're being confronted with right now. And that's kind of going to be the context that we're reading a little bit deeper for you guys using the tarot today. Okay, so knowing this, what do we have for pile 1 in regards to what their person's intention is with all of this energy going on? What is pile 1's intention? What is pile 1's person's intention, please? We have pile 1's person's intention, please. Yep, pile 1's person's intentions. Can you clarify the 6 of Wands for me, please? Okay, so this person is hell-bent on winning you back, giving this connection another chance, and hopefully being able to rebuild something better from the ashes of what was in this first kind of incarnation of this connection, just based especially on all that they've learned since stuff went down between the two of you. They think they can show up so much better now. They've really acquired a lot of wisdom and they're seeing the truth of things. And essentially what they really want is this beautiful Ace of Cups love with you. So we have a lot of cards here. The 6 of Wands is very much traditionally associated with victory, recognition. It's drawn on the Rider-Waite original deck as a man like riding back into town, or like riding through a parade, like super victorious after having faced some sort of battle. So it's really about like it's a real winning energy. So this is really like, I want to win you back. What's interesting is it came out with the 5 of Swords. So the 5 of Swords was clarifying the 6 of Wands, and the 5 of Swords is actually called the Lord of Defeat. And it's usually about defeating things that are lurking within the unconscious or the collective unconscious that you've absorbed. And it's really about seeing how you fall on your own sword by self-imposed limiting beliefs, or just like competing against others instead of competing against yourself, or robbing yourself of joy in some way. So yeah, this person's like realized that a lot of their own perception of like maybe this connection initially was actually just their stuff coming up, and they weren't necessarily seeing the truth. They were very potentially like charged with like emotion or story or something that got in the way of them experiencing this true love in this connection. And they do want a new start with this connection, with the 9 of Wands clarified by the Death card. Like, of course the Death card came out because we also had the 8th house come out. So yeah, this person really hopes that even though this connection had to dissolve and die, they're hoping that the lessons that they've learned since that happened is going to be a really fertile soil for them to build something much better with you. The Nine of Swords can be associated with things like anxiety, depression. It's a Mars and Gemini energy, so it's a very it's a very aggressive energy in a sign that has a lot to do with the mind. So yeah, it seems like this person was like maybe shot in the foot by their own thoughts in a lot of ways in this connection initially. And what they've been doing is they've been directly facing all of those sources of fear and anxiety since then, or at least they're seeing it for what it is. They're seeing how like their own fear to be brave, fear to be vulnerable, fear to be whatever it is, like really got in their way, where they let fear take over, where they let like anxiety take over, and just like maybe overly identified with those feelings of fear and anxiety and really believed that they were true when they weren't. So yeah, this person's like kind of realizing how they were their own, how they got in their own way when it came to this connection having life initially, and how they kind of instigated the death of this connection, because it seems like a lot of those fears and anxieties turned into self-fulfilling prophecy and actually ended up causing the end of this connection. And they're seeing that for what it is now. They've probably been going within a lot with the Two of Swords energy. You can see this artwork is a woman blindfolded, and she's like using her interior vision. So she's really going within to see what's in her unconscious. You've got the sea and then rocks poking out of the sea, and this is a metaphor of like our own blocks within our own unconscious mind that tend to be difficult to see unless we do put on the blindfold, unless we do stop looking at what's happening in the exterior and really start looking at what's happening in the interior. And yeah, I would say the first time around in this connection, this person wasn't doing that. They were responding to what was happening externally as if what was happening externally in their interpretation of it was true, but it wasn't. And since this connection has come to an end, they've kind of shifted in these energies, it seems, especially because the Knight of Pentacles, that's much more of an action energy. That's someone who's like coming forward to you, whereas all of these energies along the top would be energies that would stop someone from doing that, stop someone from coming forward. So yeah, it seems like this person's like aware of all of these blocks that fed into them not being able to kind of make the moves that maybe they were destined to make or they should have made initially, but now they're seeing it for what it is. It's very I think they're worried that they potentially hurt you too much, and they're worried they're not going to get another chance now, because there's this beautiful Ace of Cups energy of like really wanting this like really pure, connected, compassionate, intimate, beautiful relationship with someone that's just like so full of love and joy and pleasure and play. However, it's clarified by the Queen of Cups in reverse, and the Queen of Cups upright is about someone who's like very serene, very calm, very connected to their intuition, and they just like really follow their intuition. And I think this person's worried that through their own self-fulfilling prophecies, when it came to all of their fear and anxieties coming up, that now they've put you almost in a similar situation. Like potentially if you were really like if you had this intuition initially that this was like a destined connection, and you were maybe more open, they're worried that how they behaved has like kind of pushed you away and maybe pushed you into the same fear that they were once in. that's disconnected you from your intuition, and they're worried that that's going to stop you guys from being together and experiencing this love. But yeah, I don't think they blame you. I think they blame themselves for that one, to be honest. So yeah, it seems like they definitely want to come towards you, but I think they're just being like super mindful that they know that based on how they behaved in the past, like rightly so, you're going to be a bit wary of them. You're not going to be super open. You're not going to be in her Queen of Cups upright, like really in the kind of more love flow energy. You're going to be, you're potentially going to have your guard up. And this person doesn't blame you at all for that. They think that's totally reasonable. But yeah, so now they're just like really thinking about like, what do I do? How do I come forward with this? Like, how do I, now that I'm seeing the situation for what it was and all the ways that I fucked up, like, how do I fix this essentially? Like, they want to know how to move forward. So we'll get some messages from the oracles about potentially what their plan is moving forward, and anything that you might need to be prepared for from their energy, as they try and like solve this riddle of like, I've messed up, I've caused this person to kind of like put their guard up with me, but I want this like real love with them. So like, how do I sort this out? Like, how do I make it right, essentially? But before we move on to the oracles, I'm just gonna pull out some channeled messages for y'all. We have some more channeled messages from our one's person, please. Okay, so we've got, I'm afraid of my reality being denied, ignored, or ridiculed. I'm afraid of being misunderstood. I'm becoming more loving. Hurting you was never my intention. I'm learning who I really am. I'm scared of having what I really want. I can feel our connection getting stronger. You are my perfect mirror. I'm starting to understand how I create my own problems. I miss talking to you. You've inspired me. I'm working on forgiving myself first. I know you deserve the world. And I'm jealous. They might think that you're moving on based on how they treated you. I think they're worried about that. But yeah, they definitely see how they've kind of caused their own problems and they're trying to solve it. I might just grab a couple more channeled messages. Do you have anything else before we moved on to what's coming? I miss being with you. Anything else for these guys? I'm not financially stable. This seems like the stuff from their fears, especially based on this Knight of Pentacles coming out. I don't want to know. I think they're afraid of what will happen if you guys reach out and maybe they have to face what they've done in the past in like your eyes instead of just in their own head. You inspire me. We had that twice, so obviously a lot of this person's growth has basically come from you. But we'll finish off grabbing some oracles about what you need to be prepared for in the future. What does pile 1 need to be prepared for with this connection, please? Okay, so we have Lightning, Grim Reaper, Wedding Rings, and Camera. I'd say all these coming out, clarifying each other, is that something's going to happen very quickly. And you're going to, like, this person's going to make some sort of really fast move in order to change their life in some way. Maybe even to prove that they've grown, so that, yeah, they can have this, like, eternal love, everlasting promise with you. But yeah, it seems like the way they're going to come in is like showing you that they've learned from the past, and especially their past mistakes, and that they're perceiving the situation very differently now. I think you're going to have the more like divine, pure, sovereign connection that you potentially initially wanted with this person. It's probably just going to happen at an unexpected time in an unexpected way, and you just need to have faith in the process. I've got like double sovereignty here, so it's like really good omens of like what's coming in. Yeah, it seems like now there's just like a little bit more time for healing, working through fears, especially on this person's behalf. I think they know they're going to have to come in like super steady, just like based on where your energy might be. So they're going to try and come in really secure and stable, potentially, especially if that's how you were initially. They don't want the past to hold you back, and they're not going to let the past hold them back. And I think they know, because the past might be holding you back more so this time, that they're going to have to come in like just super kind of secure in themselves and secure in this connection. And so it seems like that's the window that they're looking for, like when they're going to be ready. Alright, so the affirmation we have to finish off your reading today is, my motivation is fueled by the thrill my goals will bring. I'm ready to create my dreams. So I think this could be your energy. I'm kind of sensing this might also be your person's energy right now. So yeah, it seems like they're really motivated. But yeah, maybe like it's a good time for you to like really clarify what you dream of, and being really clear in that, because that might energetically help this person with their direction when it comes to coming towards you. Yeah, if you're putting the vibration of the dream out there, they'll be able to pick it up, and it should help them moving forward towards you if that's what you want. Yeah, but I think I'm gonna leave that here. Thanks for making it all the way through. I really appreciate it if you did. I would also love if you can like, comment, and subscribe, especially if your reading resonated. And yeah, hope you got something out of this reading. It was a pleasure reading for you. If you would like to stick around, I'll have info about my online tarot course next, and all the links to book personal readings are below. But until I see you again, ciao. either pile 2, welcome to your reading about what your person's intentions are towards you. So if you chose this beautiful moss agate crystal, then this reading is probably for you. But as always, just bringing along your intuition and discernment. We're going to find out where your person's energy is at, kind of where they're at more personally, using this astrology deck to begin with. We have pile 2's person's energy, please. Can we find out where pile 2's person's energy is at right now, please? Can we have their energy, please? Can we have their energy, please? Can we have pile 2's person's energy, please? So this person's really stepping up. It seems like they've learned from the past in a lot of ways, and they're trying to create new cycles that are going to be healthier overall. One of the main things it seems like they're focusing on is being a better provider, potentially, with all of these cards coming out. I think they realize that they need to make some sort of sacrifice in order to essentially become a better, stable, safer place that other people can depend on. And I think they want to be that energy. I think they're like potentially realizing kind of the grand scheme of like life in general, but potentially your guys' connection as well. They understand kind of the moving parts of how the two of you are supposed to work together. And they're a little bit more interested in holding up their end of the bargain, and maybe a little bit less focused on what they can get and more focused on what they can give right now. Potentially they were a little bit too focused on what they were receiving and not focused enough on what they were giving in the past. I'm sensing that had to do with mummy issues of like maybe them kind of in this like never enough, I never get enough love energy. So yeah, that was kind of their past coming up, but it really seems like they're changing their tune and turning some things around, and just like working on overall being a more stable, reliable person, maybe working on some of those mummy issues, because it seems like they're kind of realizing that maybe that's a weird cycle in itself. Like sometimes I'm sensing this person's more of a masculine energy. I'm sensing that from if they're like really focused on what they're getting from a feminine energy, that it actually stops them from showing up in their divine masculine energy. It puts them in this really disempowered place. So yeah, I would say they're working on healing mummy issues and maybe working on not being someone who would cause daddy issues as a result of their own mummy issues. Like I'm hearing this kind of like, it's a very complicated web of thoughts, which is very much Aquarius behavior. So yeah, I actually love that for them. It seems like they're in kind of this cool place of like trying to turn things around. But we'll use the tarot to find out a little bit more about specifically what their intentions are moving forward, and maybe the higher perspective on what they're going through right now and any challenges they might be facing. Okay, can we please have this person's intentions, please? Can you please have pile 2's person's intentions? Can you please have pile 2's person's intentions? Can you clarify this Lover's card energy, please? clarify this sun energy, please. 2. And can we also clarify the 6 of Swords, please? There are higher forces working their magic on this person who wasn't a real secure and stable partner initially, but they're becoming like this real powerhouse. They're becoming like the perfect kind of divine masculine and the perfect kind of father figure, or more masculine type caregiver, that more paternal energy. They're really coming into their power with those things. And it seems like it's through some sort of like divine guidance. The temperance has to do with having holy guardian angels like really working in your favor, helping you work out your shit so you can be the best version of yourself. And this person's just like going through a big transition, really moving from one state of being to another. So like if this person says they're changing, like it's actually true. Like these cards are saying this person is actually genuinely making big shifts, and becoming a much more dependable person to be in a relationship with, and especially a much more dependable person to start a family with. And that really seems like their intention. Like they're looking for like, how can I be the best partner, the best parent, the best kind of version of myself, essentially. We have the Lovers card clarified by the 4 of Pentacles. So yeah, this is definitely telling me that in the past they weren't this secure and stable energy. All of the 4s in the Minor Arcana represent some sort of like squarish energy, some sort of like form, shape, groundedness, stability. And yeah, with the Lovers in reverse, I'm sensing that that was not them, but they realized that that was not them, and they're really looking to turn that around. The King of Wands, this is like a real leadership energy, a real visionary. This is like someone who's even a bit of an entrepreneur. This person might be undertaking some sort of new entrepreneurial venture to become more of this protected provider energy, so that they can show up better and yeah, like give you everything that you deserve as well. The Sun card has a lot to do with fertility, abundance, joy, pleasure, play, like really healing the inner child, but it also can signify like someone getting their shit together so that they can have their own child. The Sun in astrology is associated with kind of the father figure split between the Sun and Saturn. So the Sun is like less about the father as tough love. It's more about the father as like light, life, and yeah, like the creator, like the intention to create life. So yeah, that seems like this person's intention right now. I think they in the past were potentially focusing on fighting the wrong battles with this 5 of Wands energy. This energy, when it comes out upright, it's really about understanding that battles are usually part of our kind of soul growth. Like it's better to like, when things are coming up, rather than taking it so seriously and getting like so caught up in it, that you kind of let emotion take over, you let your ego take over, and you're just like coming at life from totally the wrong energy. The 5 of Wands upright is all about like experiencing all of those challenges as kind of like playful, as like a little test to move you forward in the journey of your kind of soul growth, rather than taking it so seriously and getting lost in it and lost in ego. It's about like moving forward with this sense of like kind of rolling with the punches and like being able to focus on fighting what's important rather than what's not important. Potentially they might have been fighting with you when really the person they should have been fighting with was themselves, or their own ego, or their own limiting beliefs, or things that were holding them back in some way. and they're seeing that now. It's funny because the Seven of Pentacles is between these cards, and the Seven of Pentacles, I'm not sure if this works drawn that way. The Seven of Pentacles is traditionally drawn with this guy with like all this abundance. Like he has this like huge harvest next to him, and part of the harvest is like really bright, vibrant green, and part of it's starting to go brown. It's starting to rot, because he's accumulated all this stuff, but it's potentially like getting a little bit stuck and stagnant in some way. So potentially this person was like maybe not sharing what they had, not sharing their own abundance, or like being insecure about what they had to share. And so they were like avoiding sharing it, but then like their own abundance was like becoming toxic and they were like kind of giving their own abundance like a bad energy of like them projecting that it was like not enough. So they kind of made it not enough. So yeah, this person's like dealing with turning that around, it seems, like becoming a more abundant energy and being willing to share it and being willing to just like be grateful for what they have rather than maybe being critical about what they have. So yeah, it's really about turning this ego around in a lot of ways. It seems like a lot of the change that has happened for this person has been fairly rocky. And it seems like they're in a bit of a rocky stage of their transition right now. The Six of Swords is traditionally drawn as a man, a woman, and a child in a boat crossing over the ocean to a new land. And it's supposed to be symbolic of when we really get our inner child, our subconscious mind, and our conscious mind all really working in harmony, in a way where we transition from whatever our current state of being is into a much more enlightened state of being, where we're feeling all of those energies really working together. So that's potentially what this person's been doing, but I don't think it's been smooth sailing so far. The Two of Pentacles is called the Lord of Harmonious Change, and right way up it talks about someone like being able to flow with life, and being prepared for the highs and lows. I would say this person's like maybe not the best with lows yet. Like they're really chasing those highs, and so there's still for them a little bit of kind of allowing life to be as it is in order to make this change. So I would say this change is not complete for them yet because they haven't like kind of found that peace, that ability to make the change and allow things to be not perfect. Like I'd say they'd be a little bit trying to make the transition when everything's totally perfect rather than making the transition regardless of whether things are perfect or not, which is more of the Seven of Pentacles energy. So yeah, there's still a little way to go for them, it seems, but they're getting there. They're like really getting there on the journey. But we might get some channeled messages from this person just to see a little bit more about what they're thinking. We find out a bit more about what this person's thinking right now. That's too many. Okay, I'm trying to bring awareness to my feelings. I want a new beginning. I'm struggling to resolve my issues. So attracted to you. psychology is more than words, it's change behavior. I'm motivated by my mistakes. You teach me so much about myself. Intimidate me. I'm afraid of messing it up. I miss you. I'm wallowing in my feelings right now. We are growing together. I want to provide for you. I know I'm here to serve others. I was avoiding my own feelings. Okay, that's really interesting because a lot of the same kind of messages came out that, like, yeah, there was a lot of scarcity, fear of not enough, wanting to be a provider, wanting to turn things around, like, but also being a little bit intimidated or scared and just like, yeah, but they're definitely growing. They're definitely changing. We had a few messages come out of like, yeah, they're definitely changing. See if there's any final words from this person. Any final words from this person? Okay, that was a lot really quickly. I wish I had treated you better. You don't know how hard it was to let you go. I wish things could be different. I lost myself for a little while. You and I were too young. I know that I crossed a line with you. Okay, let's find out what you need to be prepared for. What's coming in with this connection, please? What's coming in with this connection, please? Okay, so I'm taking it that y'all have been in separation for some time. But yeah, some clarity, some communication is definitely coming in. You guys are definitely going to be able to talk very, very soon. Yeah, this person wants to open their heart back up to you, potentially get back together. But yeah, I think they're worried that you're just like seeing them as like a potential, and that maybe there's a lot of different potential people in your life, and maybe you're not seeing them the same way. Yeah, I think they think you've got a lot of options, whereas in their eyes they just like really want it to be you. They're definitely trying to practice gratitude for where they're at and not get ahead of themselves and like not try and hold up all of this perfectionism. And I think, yeah, it seems like it's the perfectionism that's like holding them back from making this move. So I think the more they have this gratitude practice, the kind of faster they're speeding up their return to you, especially if you're in separation. But yeah, I don't think they can get over this attraction, like this like real desire to connect with you. I think their life has been like super dark potentially since you guys parted ways. And yeah, all they're focusing on is like their own abundance, their own inner masculine, and just like being the best version of themselves possible. This is like very like trying to lean into their King of Wands energy. And yeah, they're just like keeping their eyes on this new beginning with you, for sure. Is there anything else you need to tell us? Okay, so when they make these moves, it's going to really challenge them, but they're trying to they're trying to have a little bit more faith, I would say, and maybe just like not being super worried about all the practical things falling into place. I think they're trying to allow there to be some space to grow into, and to try and not have all that practical stuff perfect, by just like trusting in their spirituality and their faith that this is kind of supposed to happen, and this is like an important connection, and they can really just trust that the two of you are connected on some other level, that they don't need to be perfect. But yeah, their emotions are really running high. And I think they're just like very stressed about how to make the moves they want to make, and doing it at the right time, especially for them, but like potentially also for you as well. Especially if they're feeling like you've got a lot of options, they might be just like concerned. They don't want to like rush into it, but they also like don't want you to be with someone else. So yeah, I think they like want to make the most of whatever window of opportunity they're given, but yeah, I think they're also afraid of like rushing and then just like not showing up in the right energy yet, because yeah, I think they still do feel that like inner rockiness. And yeah, I think maybe they're trying to decide if they can allow some of that rockiness to be there or not. I think some of the apprehension with that is coming from perfectionism, of like wanting it to be perfect before they do anything, and I think they know that. So yeah, I think they're in a bit of a struggle of like going back and forth between essentially the physical and the ethereal. So they try and decide kind of what to do and when to do it. Could we have any final affirmations for pile 2, please? Okay, so we have, I radiate love and my heart is open to receiving all the love I desire or deserve. I'm divinely protected at all times, and in all ways I'm safe from all harm. These feel like important things for you to affirm to yourself as this person's going through all this, just like really staying in your heart, radiating love, but just like also staying in your protection, especially if if you're feeling like their energy might be a bit messy. Just like, there's a really good visualization you can do of putting a purple cloak on yourself, and that's supposed to symbolize the like kind of cloak of protection. If you imagine yourself putting that on, like you can keep yourself safe from their energy if it gets a bit messy, which it might. So yeah, but just trust like that ultimately you're divinely protected, and yeah, it's time to really trust and open your heart to all the love that you deserve. But I think I'm going to leave that here. I hope you got something out of it. Thank you so much for making it all the way through. I really appreciate the support. If your reading resonated, I would love if you could like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, I'll leave my little clip for my online tarot course if this inspired you to learn more about the tarot with me later on in the year. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say. And until I see you again, ciao. Hey there, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. If you chose this beautiful moonstone, then this reading is probably for you, but as always, bringing along your own intuition and discernment. Got like a little tickle in my throat. Okay. What we're going to start off with, guys, is checking your person's energy using this astrology deck, kind of so we know where we're starting off from. Could we please have pile 3's person's current energy? Could we find out a little bit about where they're at, please? Find out a little bit about where they're at. If this reading has found you, your person is healing. They are completely reinventing the wheel when it comes to their conceptualization of themselves. And they're really becoming a more authentic and more spiritually connected version of themselves. They're probably devoting themselves to their spiritual practice more and more as they heal more and more. And I'm sensing that they're feeling the fruits of their labor a lot with all of these practices that they're undertaking in order to become more connected to themselves, more connected to the divine, more connected to their truth. And they're probably becoming a little bit braver to go against the grain and do what works for them regardless of what other people think, I would say. Yeah, the more they're healing, the more they're coming into their own, and the more they're unlocking their true power and potential, for sure. Potentially the version of themselves who they used to be is dying, and they're like kind of recreating themselves from the ashes as well in this reinvention period. Yeah, I'm sensing that there was a lot of who they were that wasn't serving them, that was actually based on other people's opinions or thoughts or perception rather than what felt true in this person's heart. So yeah, they're really in this process of like letting that go and really exploring kind of their inner landscape in a much deeper way. But we might get some deeper messages about this person's intentions with you based on this new energy that they're in. We have pile 3's person's intentions. We have pile 3's person's intentions, please. Also clarify the King of Pentacles, please. So the more this person's letting go of other people's opinions about who they should be, and the more they're coming to their own into who they really are, the more they want to put a ring on it and like wife you up and potentially also make you the mother of their children. I think I'm kind of getting this vibe from them that they think it's really sad that you haven't been able to realize that dream yet, or you haven't had kind of a good partner in that venture in some way. And this person really wants to be that person. Got the King of Pentacles and King of Wands, and this is someone who's coming in like with a real protector provider energy for sure. And yeah, the Justice card has a lot to do with making things kind of official in terms of like being legally married usually, and making someone your kind of person. What's interesting is that we have the Queen of Pentacles, Empress, and Queen of Cups all coming out, with the Queen of Cups upright and the Empress and Queen of Pentacles in reverse. These are the two most mothering energies in the deck, and the fact that they both come out in reverse, it seems like, yeah, there's some sort of like, this person's like perceiving you as a really good mother, and like it's a shame that you haven't been able to realize that dream either completely if you haven't had any children yet, or at least with a like committed partner who's like gonna do you right. If you kind of have already started on that venture. But yeah, I think they see you as like really emotionally available and emotionally ready, and they're trying to match your energy. It seems like kind of where they're at now is they're still like in their healing phase, still like maybe clarifying exactly what it is that they want to manifest. Yeah, with these two energies coming out in reverse initially, the Page of Pentacles is all about manifestation and like going after what you want, and the Four of Swords, it's usually a rest card. So I would say they're kind of like still in this period of clarifying, or they're like not really sure yet how all of this is going to come into fruition, but they're just kind of like seeing the end goal, and they probably need to meditate on the process a little bit more about how to make this a reality, because yeah, I think they've been so focused on their healing and just like getting back to their truth that they're kind of going to need to shift into a different energy again and be like focusing on what they're building next. I think it was just like more about what they were healing initially within themselves. But yeah, it seems like what they want long term is they're like really seeing themselves as this like protector provider energy with the King of Pentacles and King of Wands, and they're like just like really clear that that's their identity in this connection, like that's who they're supposed to be, that's their truth, and that's something that they've found within themselves that hasn't been projected onto them from other people, which potentially a lot of their identity in the past has been just like picking up on what other people wanted rather than them following their own truth. So we have the Eight of Wands. I think this person's making moves with this King of Wands, Eight of Wands energy. Like this is someone who's probably making career moves, I would say, because the King of Wands is like real leader, visionary, like entrepreneurial, like energy, like someone going after their dreams. And the Eight of Wands is a very action orientated card, and it's someone who's going to make fast moves. I'm actually sensing for some of you that they've actually been through this pause and now they're ready to make action. For others, they haven't yet gone into this pause in order to be ready to make the action. So I'd say there's a mix of people here. So yeah, potentially for some of you, and you'll know if this is speaking to you, like things are going to happen very quickly, all of a sudden, very soon. And for others, your person needs to kind of pause and shift out of this healing energy into their kind of meditative energy so they can figure out kind of what their moves are coming forward. But yeah, there's just like so much kind of family orientated, like marriage orientated energy here. So that's what I would definitely expect for you guys. I'm just gonna pull pull you some channeled messages. I'll just get a couple of channeled messages about what this person's thinking about and going through right now, please. Okay, so this person's feeling a little bit unworthy of love right now. And they're wishing they could turn back time. But you taught them to love themselves more and worry less about how they could earn love from other people. Be patient while I learn to open up. I get so wrapped up in my feelings that I can't be present to them. Say this person gets emotionally flooded. Failure is a necessary part of success. I'm identifying and interrupting old patterns. I think about you every day. And my pride and ego got in the way. So whatever's happened in the past, it seems like this person's like, yeah, really in the process of letting it go and like trying to come correct. Okay, so go slow. Cards are advising that when you guys do reconnect, it's probably a good idea to like proceed with, not with caution, but just like go slow and just allow things to unfold a little bit more slowly. It seems like this person's going to come towards you with a lot of energy, or they're going towards like what they want career-wise with a lot of energy, but yeah, try and take it a little bit slow in terms of like what you're building in this connection, just because this person wants marriage and babies. Like, just don't rush into it. So yeah, keep your circle around. Don't get lost in this connection. Yeah, it's most likely this is divine counterpart connection, a twin flame potentially making a return. But yeah, I think there's still some things that are healing, some addictions that are still at play. Maybe this person's like addicted to some sort of social approval or something like that. But yeah, the time and space that's either happening now or has happened in the past has helped to bring a lot of clarity to this situation. You just want to avoid anything coming in that's going to make that murky or messy. So you want to keep clear. So just be mindful to remove any addictive presences from this connection, so that you guys can build what it is you want to build together. Can we have a little bit more about what's coming in, please? Okay, so we have clarity, truth coming in, happiness, expansion, joy. And then we also have soul connection, partnership, agreement, soul contract. This person, if you guys aren't in physical union right now, this person's probably keeping an eye on you right now. Or you potentially might be keeping an eye out on them too. But yeah, it seems like overall there's like good things coming in. What else do we need to know? It's important that you trust the process. Really know where your boundaries are and enforce them. It's possible that there's going to be some physical action, change coming in very soon that you need to be prepared for. And it's important that you stay balanced in yourself to be able to kind of like deal with this energy coming in a constructive way. So yeah, especially if this person comes at you with more turbulent energy, like keeping balance within yourself and like maybe putting up some boundaries and just like taking things slow. We have your dreams need a practical plan, work through your fears, and confidence is the key to success. So I'd say like be confident in this connection and where it's going, but just like don't get lost in all the energy, and also don't get lost in any of your fears and anxieties that are coming up. Work through them and like practically work together in building the life that you want. It's one thing to dream it, but just when you're doing it, like take it slow, build slowly, like be confident in where you're going, but like really listening to yourself in terms of like what you need to get there, if that makes sense. And like build a really solid foundation together. Do we have any final affirmations for pile 3 to end this on today? Any final affirmations for pile 3, please? Okay, so we have compassion naturally flows from the heart of my inner being. I feel like that's a good one to keep with you in this process, like have compassion for your person, but also compassion for yourself as you guys navigate this like kind of weird time of like both being potentially very clear of where you're going, but just like needing to do all the practical steps to get there, and just like taking your time with it, and making sure you have a good foundation to build on in order to move forward together. But I think I'm going to leave that here. I hope you got something out of this reading today. If you did, I would love if you could like, comment, and subscribe. It's been a pleasure reading for you though. And if you'd like to stick around, I'll leave the info for my online tarot course launching at the end of the year if you want to learn more about the tarot with me. But yeah, for now, it's been a pleasure reading for you, and thank you so much. Until we see each other again, ciao.